Hey Smarter Vets, CJ Burnett here, and today I'm going to give you the best tax advice I ever got. I'll never forget the first time I heard an accountant tell me in order to save some tax, I needed to spend more money. My initial reaction was, I'm sorry, what? Like, he wanted me to spend money in my business to deduct from my income so I could save money in taxes. And what that looked like, because I literally was, I translated what he was saying into numbers, and I couldn't understand what I was actually hearing. Like I literally couldn't believe it. And what he was saying, so let me put this in numerical form as far as what was going on in my head. He was saying I needed to go spend, say, let's pick a number, $100,000 in my business in order to reduce my taxable income by $100,000. So then I could save the taxes that I would owe on the $100,000. Let's call it 40 grand in taxes. So I had to spend $100 to get $40,000 back. And I remember him doing the calculations for me, and he's like, well, you know, now you have the money in your business. I'm like, yeah, but I'm spending money that I don't have to spend. Now, if I already needed that, whatever x-ray machine, whatever it is that I'm going to be buying, if I already needed that, fine. I think that would make sense. Like if I'm going to buy it in February, and I might as well buy it in December, get the tax deduction in December for that tax year, because everything's done on a calendar year, unless you're in a very specific circumstance. And then like that way I have the thing that I would normally have in February. I'm just going to have it in December. That makes sense to me. But he was literally saying to spend money on things that I don't actually need in order to save the $40,000 in taxes. And I said, well, hold on. If I just take the 100 grand in income and pay the 40,000, then I can take 60,000 for myself. Like I can put that somewhere else on my personal balance sheet, or I could potentially do something. I could buy a car. I could pay off my mortgage. I could pay off my student loans. You could pay for more insurance that I've been looking to get. I mean, there's so many different, like I can do so much money with $60,000. I can do so many things. So the best tax advice was this, because it wasn't given by this guy. It was actually given by another accountant who was a friend of mine, because I remember walking away from that meeting thinking like, this can't be real. Like this guy cannot be serious. Like he's just telling me to spend money. And I went to a friend of mine, another friend of mine who was an accountant, and I said, this is what this person is telling me. And then he followed up with a bunch of other questions, because there's actually some scenarios in which you could actually do that and end up better off. But in this particular scenario, it wasn't. And this guy said to me, here's the best tax advice I ever got. He says, CJ, at the end of the day, sometimes we don't want to let the tax tail wag the dog. Now, you guys are vets. I thought it was hysterical that this CPA was talking to a financial advisor and he used an animal analogy to describe this. So if you're a veterinarian out there, you own a practice, and you have a CPA that tells you every year that you need to spend a bunch of money in order to save some money, maybe perhaps sit down with them, have them do the calculations with you to ensure that if you're spending the money, that you're actually getting value for that money, that money that's being reinvested in the business is going to earn some sort of level of rate of return, and you're not just throwing money at something in order to save a few pennies while spending dollars on the back end.